So can an individual get themselves out of the friend zone, you think?
You can. I've heard loads of stories of like successful married couples who they were in the friend zone for ages, and then eventually, usually it's the girl that sways. Eventually, like after a lot of persistence, but the guy has to have already ticked quite a few boxes. Like he may have been good looking, or he may have had like a 10 out of 10 personality, and there was like one thing that she wasn't 100%
Sold
sure
on.
with. Yeah, and then eventually she, what's the word, she not settles, she
She allowed her heart to
Look past it.
yeah,
exactly.
disgusting.
Thank you for the
I think,
assistant.
I think for like, I don't speak for all women, but I think for women in general, they all have like a few set of requirements that they don't feel that they can compromise on.
Yeah,
And so that's why people get friend zoned or rejected a lot, is because there are just that one thing or those couple of things that I'm like, I wouldn't be able to accept, and I'm not going to tolerate it. So dead that.
Jasmine, give me an example of one of those things.
That I wouldn't be able to accept.
Yeah, one of the absolute no-goes.
Your one of your standby principles.
Um
A few moments later.
I guess being lazy and not working hard, that's really like not an option. Or not having any ambition to do better than what you're doing now currently. That's non-negotiable because I work so hard. And I multitask a lot and I do a lot of things. So I wouldn't be able to negotiate on that. Like, you can't be lazy. Or if I feel that you're lazy and you don't think you are, it's going to cause problems, and that's where a lot of conflict will come from. So yeah, that's for me.
So what about you, Timmy? What's one of your
My no-goes.
bars? Your no goes.
It's usually to do with their personality. Like, I don't think I could date an alpha male.
What do you mean by alpha male?
As in someone who's got a very dominating personality. Just not happening.
Why is that?
Can't be both trying to get the center of attention.
So hold on.
Only
So you
one
want a
person.
timid guy? That's what you're telling me. You want a timid guy?
Not timid.
Timmy, you would bully a timid guy.
Innit?
You would bully him.
I don't want a timid guy. I want someone just not on my level in terms of loudness and
How your presence comes across.
yeah, like I would
You want a
like him
subdued
to be
guy.
comfortable. Yeah, just someone who's chill, someone who can balance me out. So, like when we're home, it's like my parents. My mum is the loud one, and my dad's like super chill. So I think that's a good balance. I think that's kind of what I want, but I need to respect him. So that's where the like timid thing, like I cannot be able to walk all over him because he will not live an enjoyable life if that is the case. I need to respect him. But I've met guys who are like really chilled out, but I respect them. That's on you. That's not my problem. If I don't respect you, that's on you. You said something or did something that I thought was a bit and you lost my respect.
But can they get the respect back?
Yeah, I've had a friend who lost all my respect and then got it back. So yeah, I think it's possible.
Whoever that is.
Well done to that friend.
And I was
He's
just saying,
probably gonna know who it is when he watches this because I did not rate him.
Well, you think he listens?
No, I don't think he does listen. But if he ever did, he will know it's him.
Oh, interesting. That's wild. So yeah, friend zoning. So yeah, I think friend zone is it's a social construct. It's particularly prevalent because of social media and all the joys that social media has given us. Having getting some wild, yeah, you get some wild DMs at times, and yeah, Americans have no filter. I've just realized I've got a couple wild, yeah.
You got a couple wild DMs.
Yeah,
Americans. You're
Americans.
Mr. International.
What?
You're Mr. International.
I'm
Getting
not
a couple
international
wild
like that.
DMs
Yeah,
from American
please,
girls.
I'm not
Man dropped
international.
America as well, and now he's saying he's not international.
Please, I'm not international. I'm just a humble guy that does the podcast. Please, I'm not
Oh,
international.
shut up.
Timmy, please, I'm humble. I'm a humble guy. Please.
Right.
I'm humble. Please, I'm humble. Humility is my middle name. Honestly.
Oh wait, Tommy, I realized we have the same surname, but we didn't explain we're not related. And I just realized I put my surname on here.
Oh yeah. So for the viewers, me and Jasmine have the same surname, but we are no way, shape, or form related.
See the emphasis in that. No.
I know. Like he's trying to say he don't want to be related to you.
No. It's just that because
we want to see a picture of Tommy as like a scared little kid with my arms wrapped around him.
Of course.
What is this? What we're doing, Timmy?
Wow.
Timmy, is this what we're doing?
Look at the fear in his eyes.
Timmy, is this what we're doing?
Damn.
Timmy,
I'll on game since day. That is fear in that boy's eyes. I love it.
I can't lie. When I was younger, anyone could put the fear in me. Listen,
Tommy was so
you've grown, bro. You've grown.
As a child, as in,
listen,
if I told him to go make me some jollof rice and chicken, he'd do it right there and then.
I'll probably do it. Listen, as a child, anyone could get to me. Listen, anyone would just call my name. Yo, listen, I'd run. Listen, as a child, I was scared.
But has much changed though, Tommy?
Yes.
I think you're all right now. I was worried about you, but you turned out okay.
I'm fine, innit?
When I first met Tommy, I was like, he doesn't speak much. And I was
when I first met him, he was quiet as well.
I don't talk. I observe.
And I was just
I do both.
Yeah, see, I observe. I talk when necessary.
I talk when unnecessary and observe.
It depends if I'm not feeling comfortable or not, because if I'm not in my neck of the woods, I won't say anything.
Yeah, that's me. If I'm in my element, in my zone, listen.
Yeah, for real.
I actually think that's the opposite with you, Jasmine. I think you pipe up when you don't know people, but when you are comfortable, you're more quiet.
Really? You think?
Mm-hmm.
Or I think I'm louder over the phone than I am in person.
I also agree with
that. Cool. I'm more likely to chat to you and tell you about my life over the phone rather than in person. Like in person, I can't get anything.
Yeah, I'm not really a phone guy. Nah, I don't like people phoning me.
I haven't really had phone calls like that in time, so I feel like in general, I feel like I'm much more of a quiet guy in general now. Like I just don't feel like I make as much conversation as I used to, but I guess that's because we've been in lockdown so long, I ain't really seen people like that, so.
That's true. But I can't lie, Dylan. I won't lie to you, Dylan. Whenever I met someone outside of MK, it was always you that they knew.
I don't know how, bro.
You're known like that. But
not international like you, bro. So
I'm not international. Please, I'm not international.
I'm trying to hear these DMs after, you know.
Nah.
Please. Share your experience. Share your experiences, bro.
We don't need to share my experiences.
Screen share, innit? Screen share.
We don't need to screen share anything. Please let us.
I'll show you my wildest one, and then you can show me yours.
Nah. I think I deleted it as well because listen,
it was that mad.
We don't need to be stumbled.
Wow, fair enough.
It's no stumbling. Anyway, we'll move back on to friend zoning. We talked about how you can potentially escape. Yeah, you potentially escape the friend zone. So do you guys think we could escape the family zone?
No.
Once you reach the family zone, you're done.
You're like, you're practically related. Like,
you'll either ruin the relationship forever, or just don't bother. Just don't.
So
There's
no
some friendships that are too precious that you're better off
don't-
keeping them as a friend and taking that risk and ruin it forever.
really.
Yeah,
Even
if it's
even if the reward is the love of your life, you could do life together. Even if
how you loving your sister or whatever. This is mad.
Oh,
well, when you put it like that, it sounds wild.
That's what I mean. In my opinion, if you're family zone, bro, you're literally like you literally like blood to me. So nah, there's no
Ohana.
way.
No way. No way, no how.
Way.
No way.
If it's family zone, that's your family.
So then
But like I'd only family zone people that like I'm actually on that level with. Like I'm cool. Like I know we're good friends and they like that to me.
damn.
Um,
RIP to all the people in the family zone.
no, it's not a bad thing. You need to be in my life forever.
No, but what if you do like what if you do like the person? So it's basically.
I mean, if I got put in a family zone whilst liking somebody, I just have to cut off the thing there because I can't. If you like somebody,
You have to cut it off.
yeah. If they ended up family zoning me like that, I just have to cut it off because I'm not feeling that way about them. So that's just awkward, isn't it? Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah, it does, and I would agree with you because
Yeah. So I mean,
if you're in the family zone,
yeah, like I'm not staying there, man. I'm dipping.
you have to remove yourself to another zone,
For real.
to another person, so you can be not in a family or friend zone, because zoning in general is not nice.
It's not. It's not.
So Timmy, I'm coming to you for this. You said earlier you wouldn't shoot your shot.
Oh my gosh, are we really doing this? Okay.
Nah, I just have one question. I accept that you won't shoot your shot, but would you ever? How do I say this? What's the terminology I'm looking for? Would you ever like not shoot your shot per se, but let a guy know that you're feeling him in that way without shooting your
So
shot?
that's what I struggle with. That's what I'm not very good at doing. I need to get better at doing that. So without shooting my shot, we're making it very obvious. Whereas I think most guys don't have a clue if I do or not. They don't. There is no difference in the way that I communicate with them.
So
It's really bad.
after
I mean-
after 23 years, coming up to 23 years, you're telling me
It's probably the one thing I'm not very good at. The one thing in my life, and it just so happens to be very important. I'll work on it. I'm still a baby. Do you know what I mean? Like I've still got time. Just a little baby girl. Don't worry about me.
See, I send friends to scout out the land to see whether it's worth dropping hints. But if it's not, then I just
Huh?
Get
What do you
out,
mean?
you know.
So
like as in, I will send a friend to inquire what his
A
type
guy.
is. Yeah.
That's
into
interesting.
his type.
Yeah. Wait, do you not understand what I'm saying? Like if
Sorry, I've missed that. I'm sorry, I'm doing business and pleasure at the same time. Sorry, go.
So like if there's a guy I like, I will send a friend to go and scout out what his type is, if that makes sense.
And if
Why
you're
not just
not
do
his
it
type,
yourself?
And if I'm not his type, then I'm like, I can't be asked.
Then why not do it yourself?
Because I don't want him to know.
no.
You send a friend or a family member.
Wow, your friends are nice.
See, I always think it's good to become good friends with their friends. That's how you, in my opinion, because if their friends rate you, then you got more of a chance, I reckon.
No, not necessarily.
Well, if their friends rate you, then like I say, girls talk in it. So like, If her friends
So
are
he has a point. Like, if I think there's a nice guy for my friend, I will definitely
exactly
I would push for it.
tactics, bro, tactics.
That's a very good tactic. Get the friends. It's very important for the female friends to like you.
Of course.
It can make such a difference.
it's
I mean,
sometimes-
also it can make no difference whatsoever. It depends what the girl is like, but
Yeah,
it can make difference. Yeah.
for sure.
That's
Tell me you
I
look
don't-
unsure of that.
Huh?
Tell me you look unsure of that.
I'm not convinced. I don't know why. I'm
Really?
Just because there's situations where the female friends don't like you at all, and you get married.
Yeah, that's what I said. It depends on the girl. If the girl is lost
Yeah.
in the sauce, there's no one, not even God can change her mind about him. But if it's like very early stages and you're trying to like sliver your way in there, a good route is the friends. For me, my ideal guy would move to me without me knowing. He would be my friend, but he's always been, feeling me, and then lets me know afterwards. So I don't have to have that nervousness of, oh, I don't really know him. I have to get to know him, all that bloody stuff. I would like to already have known him, and then he makes the move. But not like someone I've been friends with for like 5 years. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
So you're saying that you the guy you want to potentially, you basically want the guy to friend zone himself.
No, just be my friend.
Yeah.
Don't friend zone yourself. Be my friend. Make me like I should be slightly unaware. For me to know him in a natural environment, not like he's my best bud. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know how to explain it. Be my friend before you like try and pursue a relationship. You need to know what you're about to head into, anyways. When it comes to me,
I'm sure you can get the down low. You know.
Does that make sense, Tommy? I feel like you're confused.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. But I'm just saying that you could always ask around.
Here's the thing, Tommy. This is what I didn't understand from earlier, you and Dylan's statement earlier, which was just, you said you needed 6 months to a year to get to know someone before you ask her out, right? So would you not try to become her friend first and get to know her that way before you would?
That's always my goal, to be fair.
What was that? Say that.
Huh?
Sorry, I'm shouting. Say that again.
So like Tommy and Dylan both said it takes 6 months to a year to get to know someone before they want to make them their girlfriend or whatever, pursue it like properly. But wouldn't you try to be their friend first so that you don't have to talk to them for 6 months?
Well, this is what I'm saying is like, I guess in a way, like, I mean, it might not necessarily be 6 months to a year. It really depends on the girl. But like how I see it, like I want to be going into a relationship where she's already like my best friend, or like I'm good friends with her.
Yeah, exactly.
So like you don't just become best friends with someone overnight. So that's what I say. It's like, it's not a quick process, because I'm trying to like actually be friends with them first. I know there's somebody that I can like talk to, vibe with and chill, all of that stuff. Like they're good all around.
I mean, whether you're talking to someone or whether you're dating someone, the end goal is the same. You need to get to know them before you marry them, right? Before you commit to them, before God, legally, on paper, you've got to get to know them. So I never understood why you said 6 months to a year, because
that's answering your question.
Because technically when you're dating, right, you're getting to know someone. It's the same thing.
But you just answered your own question why it takes so long, because you want to be sure that.
Yeah, it takes so long because I'm trying to be actually friends with them first, and then getting to know them on that level. That's when you're like boyfriend, girlfriend, and like.
But one's just more official than the other. You're just making it officially known that she's the only person I'm talking to. Do you see what I mean? Because this is why when we were talking earlier, I said that guys have a tendency to lie, is because they want to get to know people, But instead of putting all their eggs in one basket, instead of like making a commitment just to get to know one girl at a time, they will do it to 5 different, right? And they'll talk to 5 different and get to know 5 different girls at the same time, and then kind of say, actually, I don't want to talk to her anymore. I have no commitment. There's no real commitment from me because I never made it official. So then they just pick off all the ones that they don't like anymore. There's something that they didn't like anymore, and then they stick to like maybe 2 or 3, and then they whittle it down.
Me personally, I can never do that.
Yeah, that's not true for me. If I'm interested in a girl, even if it's like before we even start talking, I'd happily commit to her.
But to me, that's the only reason why you wouldn't commit to someone.
But from the talking stage, I'm committed. So to me, it's the same.
And then get to know them at the same time, because it's basically, that's why you date, is to get to know that person before you get married. You don't get married straight away. You have to get to know the person first.
Yeah, of course.
But why does it take you so long to make it official, to make it known to everyone, this is the girl I'm talking to?
But at the same time, I wouldn't lie, I've never been in a relationship like that, so I wouldn't actually know. I'm just theoretically speaking.
Oh, okay.
So
theoreticals and hypotheticals.
Exactly. It, like Tommy said, it's like it's subjective. It could change. It all depends on the situation, the circumstances, who the girl is, life experiences. Exactly. But like I said, me personally, if I'm interested in a girl, like I'm interested in just like, it really doesn't matter.
But unless here's the problem with guys and girls, right? Is that unless you make it official, a girl will always find something else. And
no, I think that applies to both genders. That applies to both genders. If the guy has not made you official, he thinks he's fair game. If the guy hasn't made the girl official, she thinks she's fair game. She's still going to entertain any attention that comes her way. Well, depending on who the person is, you know. This obviously is very generalistic, but yeah, I think it's not just one-sided in terms of gender with that kind of attitude.
Yeah,
I think both genders do that.
Yeah,
I think it's more depending on the person and what their morals are. So like for me personally, if I'm chatting to someone and I'm quite interested and they haven't yet made it official, I think I would still be pretty well behaved just because a CBA.
Like for me, it means I don't have to commit to anything.
Entertain other people.
Because you haven't made it official, I wouldn't think anything of it. Like us talking, us getting to know each other, I wouldn't think of anything of it.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to be falling in love with you without you making it official. It's not happening.
Yeah. Like there's no real, I would put less effort in if we were just talking for 6 months.
That's interesting.
But that's how you get to the level of where there is effort. You first have to start with just talking, right?
But not for 6 months.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like
not for 6 months. That's way too long.
I haven't been in a relationship like that, so I couldn't say. For me, ideally, it just happens like all just smooth and naturally. Like we meet, or like if we know them, like we just become good friends, and we're just talking more and more regularly, and then you know the feelings start to develop and makes it official. All of that, like for me, it's just like a smooth kind of transition between it all. It's not
in an ideal world.
It's not like, oh, here's 6 months. Now let's make it official. Or it's been a year we've been talking. Now let's make it official. Like it happens in a way that's natural.
All I'm just saying is that if you take too long, the person that you like will suddenly make it official with someone else, and you would be like, what happened? Like
in my opinion, if you're talking to somebody, then like it's a bit mad if you're moving.
But you haven't made it official.
So what if it's official?
Like them enough.
If you're talking,
yeah,
that's mad. To me, that's mad. If you're talking to somebody, whether it's official or not.
But there's no real need for commitment because you haven't taken that step to ask her out. So in her mind, she's going to think, well, he's only just been talking to me and getting to know me, but he hasn't made no real effort. So I don't have to make an effort either.
It's not about effort, I don't think.
It is, I think, because after a while, the conversations will start. They won't get more in depth. They won't get deeper. She will start being more reserved because she's probably found someone else that she could be deep with, and who she thinks is more serious. because she feels like you're taking too long.
Yeah, I'm a bit baffled by the logic, to be fair, but
Yeah.
Girls aren't patient.
I
Here's the
can't
thing.
run with that whole. If you're
Logic.
talking to somebody, then you don't have no loyalties. Like you technically don't,
You
but
do.
like
I
if
think
you're a
that's
real
such a
one,
flawed mindset. I think the whole point of talking is to get an idea of the person's characteristics and personalities and morals. And if they're just chatting to everyone else while they're chatting to me, number one, they clearly don't like me enough. And number two, there may be a loyalty issue deep down. So for me, I prefer it if there's that sort of like respect. I'm not saying completely ward off anyone who's giving you attention, but there should be that level of respect where if we're chatting, especially over like the past couple of weeks, I'm not expecting you to be chatting to other people. I think that's, I think
100%. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
it's
course,
not
of course.
against the rules, do you know what I mean? But I think it's just like, it just shows a character flaw, and I will note it down. It will be a orangey red flag for me.
Yeah.
Or a
Just for
what
me,
flag?
Orangey red flag
if we
too.
were talking for 6 months, I would yeet. Because
But
that's
to me, like I don't know. I think the talking stage is just it's a very
Subjective and
weird, weird area. Like I would just rather like not think of anything as like the talk. It's the talking stage is like a difficult space to define, in my opinion.
Very.
Which is why communication is key. You need to get out of the talking stage ASAP and sort of set the boundaries, or like what both of you are expecting from each other, which I think a lot of people don't do. They just talk about everything else other than what is this? How slow are we going to take this? What do we expect from each other? Just because you're chatting doesn't mean you to make big commitments. But if it's like, yeah, I would prefer if you weren't chatting to other people, just making that clear from the get-go shouldn't be that hard. And if they've got a problem with it, then they don't like you enough.
And you keep it moving.
True.
Keep
Keep it
it
stepping.
moving.
Okay, I think we will end the episode there.